Let's be real. Men often make one of the biggest mistakes in dating when they try to read between the lines instead of just believing a woman's actions. You'll hear guys say, "She's been distant, but maybe she's just busy," or "She doesn't text back, but she still watches my stories, so maybe she's still into me." When a woman is truly interested, there's no guessing game. You won't have to decode her behavior. The truth, and it might sting a little, is that women know exactly what they're doing when they pull away. And when she's not interested, her actions will always tell you before her words ever do. Most women won't come out and say, "Hey, I'm not feeling it," because they don't want to be the bad guy. So instead, they'll show it in subtle, indirect ways. Ways that, if you're not emotionally grounded, can leave you feeling confused, frustrated, and questioning your own worth. This video isn't about blaming women. It's about helping you see the patterns clearly so you stop wasting your time on someone who's already checked out. Because once you can see disinterest for what it is, you'll never chase it again. You'll stop mistaking mixed signals for mystery and start recognizing them as indifference. So today, I'm going to walk you through what women actually do when they're not interested. Not what they say, but what they show. And once you understand these behaviors, you'll start seeing the truth everywhere. You'll know when to stop trying. You'll know when to pull back. And more importantly, you'll know how to protect your energy from being drained by someone who was never truly invested in the first place. Let's dive into it. 1. She's polite, but emotionally absent. Here's something most men miss. When a woman isn't interested, she won't necessarily be cold or rude. In fact, she'll often stay polite. She'll text back with a smiley face. She'll laugh at your messages, maybe even thank you for checking on her. But underneath that politeness, there's no warmth, no emotional pull. You feel like you're talking to someone who's there, but not really there. It's the kind of interaction that feels safe, yet distant. Like you're trying to connect through glass. You can see her, but you can't reach her. A lot of men mistake that politeness for potential. They think, well, she's responding. Maybe she's just taking it slow. No. A woman who's genuinely interested will naturally lean into emotional connection. You'll feel it in the way she responds, the curiosity, the little follow-up questions, the subtle flirting. She wants to know more about you, and she gives energy back. But when she's emotionally absent, her words may sound nice, yet feel empty. It's the difference between, "Haha, that's funny," and "Wait, that's hilarious. Tell me more." One is a response, the other is engagement. And that difference tells you everything. Let's say you text her something thoughtful. Maybe a good morning message, or something that references a conversation you had. She replies hours later with a polite, "Thanks." That's her being kind, but detached. Women do this because they don't want to seem mean or dismissive. But what she's really saying is, "I appreciate the attention, but I don't feel the connection." Here's what you need to understand. A woman who's not emotionally invested might still enjoy your attention. It feels good to be liked. It's validation. But that doesn't mean she's into you romantically. That's why you need to stop mistaking engagement for interest. So when her tone feels distant, when her responses are polite but flat, when she's never the one to initiate, when you always feel like you're chasing warmth that never comes, take that as your sign. Don't overthink it. Don't try to change her mind. She's not confused. She's just being careful not to be cruel. And the moment you can accept that with emotional maturity, you'll stop wasting time trying to warm someone who's already turned cold. Because when a woman truly likes you, you'll never have to read between the lines. You'll feel her presence, not just her politeness. 2. Her replies are short and getting shorter. When a woman's interest starts to fade, her effort always tells the story. And the first place you'll notice it? Her communication. At first, maybe your conversations had rhythm. She replied quickly, asked questions, threw in emojis, maybe even teased you a little. But slowly the messages start getting shorter, then colder, then almost robotic. Now here's what men often misunderstand. Short replies aren't always about being busy. They're about being uninterested. Because when a woman genuinely likes you, she finds time, even on her busiest day. She'll make conversation feel effortless. She'll want to keep it going. But when she's done, emotionally or mentally, her responses become transactional. It's lol, okay, yeah, or haha. The kind of dry one-word replies that leave you wondering if you said something wrong. You didn't. She's just checked out. See, women are naturally expressive communicators. When she's into you, her texts reflect it. Energy, tone, curiosity, emotion. When she's not, all of that disappears. You'll notice she doesn't ask follow-up questions anymore. She stops sharing details about her day. She doesn't react to your jokes or comments like she used to. It's not that she doesn't know how. It's that she doesn't want to. Because emotionally, she's no longer trying to build something with you. Men make the mistake of chasing harder at this point. They think, if I just say the right thing, she'll open up again. But that's not how attraction works. You can't talk your way into a woman's feelings once they've started to fade. In fact, the more effort you show while she's pulling back, the faster she'll lose respect. Why? Because it exposes the imbalance. She's disengaging, and you're overcompensating. That's when women start thinking of you as too available. Not because being kind or consistent is bad, but because it's unreciprocated. She's not matching your energy, and deep down, you know it. You feel the effort gap, and that gap only widens the more you try to fill it. So here's the truth. When her messages lose depth, stop trying to reignite the spark through conversation. Pull your energy back. Stop initiating all the time. Don't double text. Don't chase dead replies with forced humor or flirty lines. Let her feel the absence of your effort, because that's when her true feelings will surface. If she cares, she'll notice the space and step forward. If she doesn't, she'll let the silence grow. And that's your answer. 3. She's always busy, but somehow free for everyone else. When a woman tells you she's just really busy right now, but you still see her posting stories, hanging out with friends, or even entertaining other guys online, that's not about being busy. That's about priorities. Every man needs to understand this. Women make time for who they want to make time for. Period. No matter how full her schedule is, if she's genuinely interested in you, she'll find ways to connect. Even if it's just a short call, a sweet message, or a quick thinking of you text. When she likes you, effort feels natural. It's not something she has to plan. It's something she wants to do. But when she's not into you, suddenly, her life becomes this endless stream of excuses. Work's been crazy. I've just been tired lately. I need to focus on myself. Those aren't reasons. They're gentle rejections dressed up to protect your ego. Women rarely say, I'm not interested. Instead, they slowly remove access. They become selectively busy. They'll say they can't hang out, but they'll be out for dinner with a friend. They'll tell you they're not really on their phone, but they viewed your story minutes after posting it, and the truth is, that's her quiet way of pulling back without confrontation. Most men ignore this because they want to believe the excuse. It feels better to think she's just overwhelmed than to admit she's losing interest. But if you notice a consistent pattern of her never being available for you, yet somehow having time for everything else, you're not a priority. You're a backup option, and that's not a place you should ever stay in. Here's the deeper psychology behind it. Women want to feel emotionally aligned with the men they give their time to. When she's excited about you, she wants to talk, connect, flirt. It fuels her energy. But when she's not feeling it anymore, giving you that same energy feels like a chore. It drains her. So she distances herself under the disguise of busyness. Now, the key for you as a man is to read between the lines. When she says she's busy, don't respond with guilt or pressure. Don't beg for time. Simply say, "No problem. Let me know when things slow down," and then mean it. Pull back. Focus on yourself, because that's when she'll either realize what she's losing or she won't. 4. She flirts, but never follows through. Let's talk about one of the most confusing behaviors men deal with. The woman who flirts just enough to keep your attention, but never enough to move things forward. She compliments you, laughs at your jokes, maybe even touches your arm or plays with her hair when you're around. Everything feels like attraction, until you try to take it somewhere, and she suddenly pulls back. You ask her out, and she's not sure. You make a move, and she says, "Let's just see where things go." You text her, and she takes hours or days to reply. But the moment you stop reaching out, she pops back up again with a friendly, "Hey, stranger." It's confusing because she's not cold. She's not rejecting you directly, but she's also not letting things progress. That's not mixed signals, that's control. Here's what's really happening. She enjoys the attention, not necessarily you. You make her feel desired, validated, wanted, and that's something women love, even from men they don't truly want to date. It boosts her confidence, keeps her feeling attractive, and gives her a sense of power over the dynamic. But emotionally, she's not invested. That's why she flirts when she feels like it, but disappears when you start showing real interest. Because the chase only feels fun to her when she has the upper hand. The moment she senses you actually want something real, something that requires her to show up, to reciprocate, she'll pull away. And the worst part? She'll justify it to herself by saying, "Oh, I didn't lead him on. I was just being friendly." But make no mistake, women know exactly what they're doing when they flirt. Now, this doesn't mean every playful woman is manipulative. Some genuinely like being flirty by nature. But if her actions never match her words, if she's always hinting, never committing, she's keeping you in her orbit, not because she wants to be with you, but because she likes knowing she could have you. And men fall into this trap because they confuse attention for interest. Just because a woman enjoys talking to you, complimenting you, or acting sweet doesn't mean she wants a relationship. It might just mean you fill a temporary emotional gap, her boredom, her insecurity, her need to feel desired. So here's what you do. Stop giving unlimited access to women who give limited effort. If she flirts but never follows through, call her bluff. Stop feeding into it. Stop responding to her crumbs like it's a full meal. Because the moment she sees you're not waiting around for her mixed signals, she'll either show up for real or she'll disappear completely. 5. I need space. When she's testing your emotional control, when a woman says, "I need space," she's not always saying she wants to end things. Often she's testing something far deeper, your emotional control. She wants to see how you react when she pulls back. Do you panic, chase, and try to fix it? Or do you stay calm, composed, and grounded in your sense of self? Here's what most men don't realize. When a woman asks for space, it's rarely about needing time to think. It's about her needing to feel your absence. She's subconsciously checking if the connection she has with you can survive without constant attention. If you collapse emotionally, she loses respect. But if you stay steady, she feels your strength. See, attraction is not built when you're always around. It's built in the gaps, in the silence between texts, in the moments when she's unsure what you're doing, and in the space where she starts to miss your presence. That space is where her emotions wake up again. but most men ruin that process. The moment she says she needs space, they react out of fear. They send long messages, ask for explanations, or try to talk it out. All of that energy screams one thing: I can't handle your absence. And that's the moment the power shifts. Because now she sees you're emotionally dependent on her validation. You've gone from being the man she was drawn to, calm, confident, and self-assured, to the man who can't breathe without her attention. Here's the truth. When a woman asks for space, give it to her, fully. No half measures, no just checking in texts disappear. Let her actually experience what space feels like without your presence filling it. Because only then will she realize what she's asking for. At first she'll feel relief, then curiosity, then emptiness. And if she truly values you, that emptiness will turn into longing. That's when she begins to think, why hasn't he reached out? And that's when attraction reignites. But this only happens when you master your emotional self-control. You have to resist the urge to react, to explain, or to seek reassurance. You need to be okay with silence, not as a manipulation, but as a statement of strength. Because here's the paradox. The man who can handle her distance often becomes the one she can't stay distant from. When she says, I need space, she expects you to chase. But when you don't, when you simply say, take all the time you need and actually mean it, you flip the dynamic. You move from being predictable to intriguing. 6. I'm just not ready. When she's delaying the inevitable. When a woman says, I'm just not ready, what she often means is, I'm not ready for you, not ready to commit, not ready to invest, not ready to take things seriously with you. It's a polite way to say she doesn't feel that emotional spark deep enough to move forward. And as a woman, I'll tell you honestly, when we truly want a man, we're never not ready. This phrase is one of the softest rejections a woman can give. It's designed to let you down gently without completely pushing you away. Because even if she doesn't want to date you seriously, she may still enjoy your attention, your energy, and how you make her feel. So instead of ending things outright, she keeps you around in a comfortable middle ground, where she gets your interest without giving full commitment. Here's the truth that might sting a little. When a woman really feels something deep for a man, she doesn't hesitate. She might be scared, she might have trust issues, but she still leans in. She still finds a way to make it work. Women only say they're not ready when they don't feel that strong emotional pull, or when they're waiting to see if something better comes along. That's why it's dangerous to stick around when a woman gives you that line. Because you'll start trying to earn her readiness. You'll think that if you just prove yourself, if you're more patient, more understanding, more consistent, she'll eventually change her mind. But she won't. Because her lack of readiness isn't about timing. It's about desire. Men often make the mistake of thinking a woman's hesitation is something they can fix, but attraction doesn't work like that. You can't negotiate someone into wanting you. The more you wait, the more her attraction fades, and the more you show that you'll tolerate being put on hold, the less she respects you. So when she says, I'm just not ready, take it as what it really is. A closed door, not an invitation to wait outside. The strongest move you can make is to walk away gracefully. Not with anger, not with guilt, but with calm acceptance. Because that's the one thing that can shift the power dynamic back in your favor. When a woman sees that you're willing to walk away instead of waiting around for her to decide, she starts to see you differently. Suddenly, she realizes she's not the only one who gets to choose. And if there's even a spark of genuine interest in her, that realization will wake it up fast. But here's what most men need to understand. Walking away isn't about making her chase you. It's about respecting yourself enough not to settle for half interest. Because the truth is, you deserve a woman who is ready. Not someday, not later, not when she's figured things out, but now. So don't let a woman's uncertainty become your waiting room. If she's not ready, let her stay behind, because the right woman won't need time to realize your worth. She'll recognize it the moment she meets you. 7. Stop ignoring what's obvious. You already know she's not into you. Let's be honest. Most of the time, men already know when a woman isn't interested. You feel it. You sense it. You notice the tone of her voice, how slow she is to reply, how her texts are shorter, or how she doesn't seem excited to see you anymore. But instead of accepting that truth, you hold on to hope. You start overanalyzing every small thing she says, trying to find proof that maybe, just maybe, she still likes you. And that's where a lot of men lose their power. Because when you start looking for reasons to believe she's into you, instead of seeing the clear signs that she's not, you slip into self-denial. You start chasing, justifying, and accepting crumbs. And from a woman's perspective, once you do that, we know we can coast. You've shown us that you'll stay, even if we're not giving much in return. The truth is, women rarely hide their disinterest as well as men think. We may soften it or disguise it with excuses like, "I've just been busy," or "I need to figure things out," but our behavior always tells the truth. The energy changes, the warmth disappears. You can feel the emotional distance, even if she's still around physically. And that's the part men need to trust more. Your own awareness. When a woman truly likes you, you'll never have to guess. You'll know. Her consistency, her enthusiasm, the way she looks at you, the way she makes space for you. It's all obvious. You won't have to decode mixed signals or wait for her to come around. Because genuine attraction shows up naturally. It doesn't need to be forced or convinced. So, here's the hard truth. If you find yourself constantly wondering where you stand with a woman, it's because she's already told you through her actions. You just don't want to accept it yet. And I get it. It's not easy to admit that someone you liked doesn't feel the same. But ignoring reality doesn't change it. It only keeps you stuck. The men who grow, the men who eventually find real connection, are the ones who stop chasing uncertainty and start demanding clarity. They pay attention to energy, not excuses. As a woman, let me tell you, respect is the foundation of attraction. And when you respect yourself enough to walk away from lukewarm interest, it's powerful. It changes how women see you. It communicates that your time, attention, and energy aren't free. They're earned. So stop waiting for signs that she likes you. Start believing the signs that she doesn't. That's where your strength is. Because the moment you stop trying to convince a woman to want you, you create space for the one who actually does. And trust me, the right woman won't make you guess. She'll make it clear in every way that she's into you. If a woman truly wants you, you'll never have to chase clarity. She'll show it through her effort, her consistency, and her presence. You won't have to decode her messages, question her motives, or wonder where you stand. When a woman's into you, she makes it known. But when she's not, you'll feel it too. In the silence, in the delays, in the distance she creates. The problem is, too many men fall for potential. You fall for the version of her you wish existed instead of accepting who she's actually being right now. And that's what keeps you stuck. Because every time you ignore what's obvious, you hand over your power. You start chasing what was never yours to begin with. But here's the shift. Once you learn to believe her actions over her words, your entire dating life changes. You stop wasting time on confusion and start attracting women who actually value your presence. You stop begging for attention and start commanding respect. So if she's not interested, let her go. Not to punish her, but to protect your peace. The woman who truly wants you won't need convincing. She'll meet you halfway, every time. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever ignored the signs that she wasn't interested? What happened? Drop your experience in the comments. I'll be reading them and replying, because it's time men start seeing through the mixed signals and reclaiming their power in dating.